Hi, and welcome to Tranquil Talks with Chris. This is your space to slow down and catch your breath from the noise and chaos of work and life, and a space where I hope that you'll always feel supported to take just one small, intentional step forward in how you communicate with greater clarity. I'm your host, Chris, and I'm really glad that you're here. I wanted to be upfront with you that today's episode will be different. Typically, I create episodes that help provide you with immediate, tangible, practical tips or tools and reflections that you can experiment with and then implement as soon as you feel ready to. With today, I'm instead going to focus on sharing a bit more about what I've built inside of my business that is going to be wholly in service to fellow introverts that are working inside of hybrid environments. And this new pillar within Lotus Learning Sanctuary, it literally came to me within the last couple of weeks. And it's because of an aha that I had following the last episode that I produced. I'll get to that in a second, but for now, I wanted to give you a chance to pause and make your own full choice on whether you want to keep listening to this episode or if you'd rather not. And that's completely okay. I get that if you are an introvert navigating in a hybrid workplace, this episode will likely have most resonance for you. But if you'd prefer not to listen to an episode that, let's face it, is going to focus pretty much on me describing my business, I will completely understand and respect if you'd rather bounce off. And if you do, all good, I get that. I do hope that you'll rejoin again next week when my episodes return to their typical format, chock full of value for you, I promise. If you are continuing to sit with me and hanging out with me for the entirety of this episode, I want to thank you so much for doing so, truly. As I shared, I had a huge aha after recording the most recent episode, or I guess the last episode that I did, and it was the one titled, Your Communication Defaults as an Introvert. In that episode, we were exploring our defaults or communication patterns that as introverts we've turned to as a way of surviving environments that were not built for us. And in that episode, there was a line that I said that kept staying with me. And that particular line was, every time you shrunk yourself to fit a space that wasn't sized for you. For me, what my aha was a biggie. That despite going out on my own and knowing that I had full control on how to shape my solo business, I nonetheless initially designed Lotus Learning Sanctuary with just a piece of my heart invested. At first, my business was designed around supporting hybrid orgs in redesigning communication as their strategic infrastructure, as their operating system. And now, don't get me wrong, I'm genuinely and deeply passionate about this work. And certainly it will continue to be a pillar in my business. The org side of my business is called the Learning Lab. But truth be told, I paid way too much attention to what all the business coaches were saying. They were saying, pick just one client, one pain point. And I did. But my heart kept pulling me further. And over these last couple of weeks, I finally realized that I had shrunk myself to fit other people's advice, other people's spaces. Well, to hell with that. I'm creating my own space and I am following my heart in full. Introversion, that is my whole heart. Helping fellow introverts, you are my North Star. And I gotta tell you, over these last 2 weeks, as I realized this and I began building out my second pillar, which I call the sanctuary circle, and I'll get to that in a second. Over this time, I have never felt more joy, more excited, or more hopeful. I finally feel like I'm home and living my purpose. And so I wanted to take a little bit more time and share with you what this newest pillar of my business is. It's built for introverts navigating modern work, especially hybrid and remote, because as a fellow introvert, I know what so many of us have been carrying for years. We've been carrying the feeling that we're capable, yet operating in environments that were not designed for how we naturally work best. The workplaces that reward speed over reflection, visibility over depth, for talking quickly over thinking carefully, for the constant collaboration over protecting our energy. And over time, as introverts, I know that we've all become incredibly skilled at adapting. We learn to push through, respond before we're ready, make sure we stay visible enough, be agreeable enough, and keep pace with the systems that have been built for someone else. And it is exhausting. It is utterly exhausting. So what I want you to hear, what I want you to know from my heart to yours is this. Most of us that are naturally introverted, we aren't struggling with communication as a skill or communication per se. We are often navigating communication systems that don't account for personality differences, for energy needs, or for our thoughtful processing styles. And that's why I created the Sanctuary Circle. It's a space, it's a community for introverts who are navigating hybrid and modern work to help us build our own personal communication operating system or blueprint. One that is going to help you thrive professionally, yes, for sure, but also supports the whole of your life. Because you and I know communication shapes so much more than just meetings and careers. We are more than what we do professionally. And our communication shapes more than that. It shapes our relationships, our boundaries, how we handle conflict, how clearly we express our needs, how safe we feel being ourselves, and how much energy we have left for the people and parts of life that truly matter the most. Your personal blueprint or your personal communication OS will be designed around how you actually are, not who the world expects you to be. And inside of the Sanctuary Circle, together we're going to focus on real growth that reaches both work and life. Things like how to speak up without forcing it, how to build influence without having to become louder, how to navigate meetings and workplace dynamics more confidently, how to communicate more honestly in relationships, how to stop paying unnecessary energy tax, how to set healthier boundaries without guilt, how to trust your own style again, and how to do all of that in community with people who genuinely get it. What often begins as workplace support becomes something so much deeper. A calmer, clearer relationship with yourself. If any part of today's episode felt like relief as you've been listening, I see you, I understand, and I'm here for you. In the show notes, I'll be including a link to my briefing that provides more details about the Sanctuary Circle. And there'll also be a link to a complimentary introvert communication lab that you will always be welcome to attend if you'd like a chance to experience this space, this community first. Thank you so very much for spending this time with me today. Until next time, please take good care of yourself and know that here at Tranquil Talks with Chris, you are always welcome here. You belong. Cheers.